Love can take many forms in our lives, be it self-love or even love for our artistic craft. Do we express enough love for our family, friends, or even ourselves? Can we handle the challenges of loving unconditionally? Watch to the end as I walk through a few love scenarios inspired by my research as well as my personal experiences. Don't go away. I want to start by talking about self-love, as learning to love others starts with loving ourselves. Self-love is the unconditional acceptance and appreciation for oneself, even in the middle of life's ups and downs. It is said that the hardest challenge is to be yourself in a world where everyone is trying to make you be someone else. For example, growing up you may have been bullied for not having the same material things or not looking or acting the same way that others did. The insecurities created from this carried over into your young adult life, which made it difficult to find true friends and romantic relationships as you're trying to be someone you are not. Later, you discover that you were attracting false friends and relationships because they were feeding off the negative image you had of yourself, and you were your own worst critic. This discovery leads you to understand your values and strengths and accept any imperfections as traits that make you unique and perfectly you. You are now inspired to treat yourself with kindness and respect, and it motivates you to go out and get to know yourself and what truly makes you happy. Saying love your neighbor like you love yourself makes sense, as we naturally treat people according to what kind of mood we're in that day. While it may be sometimes challenging to do, especially with someone you feel you can't tolerate, in the end, it's still worth the effort. It helps me to do self-care practices like heart chakra meditation, resting, or doing something that I love for my own well-being so that I can feel more compassionate with myself and also others. It helps to remember that loving people outside of your family circle is not just for them, but to help you not feel spiritually drained from negative energy and low vibration. Although it's a thoughtful thing to do, compassion is not just helping out with food or money or doing volunteer work. Sometimes we wake up in the morning and we're not in a social mood, and that's okay. When I have a day when I don't feel motivated to do these things, I try to simply wave or hello and smile in order to inspire positivity. And I find it also helps my mood. Loving your neighbor can be as simple as being compassionate enough to realize when people just need their space and want to be left alone, or knowing when not to tune into public gossip or spreading rumors about someone whose life we really know nothing about. Also, having compassion to know that while sometimes people may struggle, everyone has their story and set of ups and downs in life. If there are feelings of resentment for a friend or a family member who has found happiness in their life, control any jealous thoughts for the sake of harmony. Remember, if we are in the business of living our best life, we don't have time to be in anybody else's business. When I think of unconditional love, for me, it applies to the people I consider family. Family is not always bound by blood, but the people that are willing to love and support you for who you are no matter what. If you love someone unconditionally, you don't keep track of who wins more fights or who gets their way more often. You may be willing to admit when you're wrong, and you don't let your pride stand in the way, and you ask for forgiveness yourself. On the other hand, you also must accept that the other person is not perfect. When you love someone unconditionally, you're able to see those imperfections but choose to love them anyway. For example, kids can be a handful, but you love them anyway, and you sacrifice yourself for the good of the child's well-being. Also remember the sacrifices your parents made in your childhood, although you and your parents had your differences. Your parents raised you the best that they could with the tools that they had, as any good parenting standards change with each generation. So as we rebel and judge our parents, our kids will rebel and judge us in the future. From a kid's point of view, we want to be seen and heard, and sometimes did things in order to get in trouble just to know that our parents cared enough to respond. As a parent, I am learning this is an opportunity to nurture my relationship with my child even more. Siblings also may grow up with different personalities and goals, but there is going to be some time when unconditional love must take a priority. Unfortunately, we're living in chaotic times, and our parents are not always going to be there. Thus, our brothers and sisters may need to be our support system in our adult life. As no relationship is perfect, and I'm no romance guru, I just wanted to share a few things that have helped me and my love through the good and bad times. When hard times come, we try to remember to appreciate each other and the important role that each of us play and unite together as a team. We are mindful not to be in competition with each other as we both share the same goals. Also, it is important to do things together like dancing and traveling. Sometimes you and your love have to seize the moment to break the day-to-day routine and add a little spice to your relationship. And most importantly, try to make love, not war. Yes, I said make love. Before I go, I want to leave you this message. With so many debates on what is old age and new age religion, in the end, the one true religion that will conquer all is love. Thank you for watching to the end of this video. Please like and subscribe so we can continue to bring you this great content.